Welcome to BIMS TV. My name is Symone and this is BIMS Bites. Today, I will be taking a bite out of recreational angling of sand tiger sharks. Sand tigers are one of the most common shark species in Delaware's waters. Sand tigers likely gained popularity among anglers due to their large size, intimidating appearance, and ease of capture. That intimidating appearance is really attributed to those teeth that stick outside of their mouths. Anglers use kayaks to deploy bait from shore. In 2010, 2 charter operations began actively targeting this species, and shore-based shark tournaments were held. These are some photos from those tournaments in Delaware. Increased recreational angling pressure has resulted in increased physical damage and mortality risk for sand tigers. Again, the photo here shows a sand tiger that has washed up onto a beach, and it is a dead sand tiger. Sand tigers possess a gulp feeding mechanism that increases damage to internal organs. Gulp feeding just means that they open their mouth wide and swallow prey whole. In an Argentine fishery, sand tigers that swallowed the hook were also hooked internally. In Massachusetts, internal hooking occurred 42% of the time. During a shore-based angler study in Delaware, internal hooking was not related to hook type, maturity, or sex, but hook removal was significantly related to hooking location. And that just means that internal hooking was not related to, what type of hook was used, but where the hook was lodged into the shark, where it connected with the shark, that is what was most significant, the hooking location. So being the jaw, which is the ideal, or hooked internally, that gut hooking that we spoke about. In this photo, you can see this is giving you a close-up of what a hook that looks like that was found inside a sand tiger mortality that washed up onto the state park in Delaware in 2012. The cause of death was determined to be this circle hook, which caused massive internal blood loss. Delaware and the surrounding areas wanted to improve shark survival. And so in Delaware in 2011, there's a regulation that required prohibited sharks to be released in the water. In Ocean City, there was an emergency ordinance that banned chumming or blood baiting from the beach or within 600 feet of the beach. And most recently, Delaware Bay was designated as a habitat area of particular concern for sand tigers. All of these initiatives were put into place to reduce or minimize injury or mortality to sand tigers. Similar to how there are turtle exclusion devices to reduce bycatch for sea turtles, there are other conservation engineering techniques to reduce bycatch of sharks. For example, electropositive metals have been used to deter sharks from fishing hooks. Captain Mark Sampson developed the blocker in 2008. There was a noted 5 to 10% incidence of gut hooking during his recreational angling trips. And so the blocker was developed to try to prevent or minimize that gut hooking. There's been an almost 100% success rate at preventing gut hooking. It was determined that sharks do not avoid bait attached to this rig in 2010, which is really great for recreational anglers who want to target certain species. Sand tiger hooking location was significantly affected by gear type during a study where blocker rigs were used to compare their impact on sand tigers. 94.8% of gut hooking was on control ganyons. And so that's really great to know that the blocker ganyons were successful at hooking sand tigers in the jaw. That was about 98% of the time, instead of the gut, which was 1.4% of the time, overall minimizing harm to the animal. Sand tiger catch rate on blocker rigs, on blocker ganyons, was less than on control Ghanaians, but they were still able to catch many individuals. Black Ghanaians are successful at hooking sand tigers in the jaw instead of the gut. It is recommended to use Black Ghanaians in areas of high sand tiger concentration like Delaware Bay for scientific surveys and an aquaria collection. There, of course, will need to be further research to determine how Blacker leaders or these Blacker Ghanaians can be used in recreational angling. And so it would be, of course, ideal if recreational anglers are visiting the Delaware's commonly misidentified Sharks Guide and the NOAA NIMS Shark Identification Placards. In addition, it's important to raise awareness and exposure to proper identification of sharks so that anglers can handle them appropriately. K-12 school curriculum, adult community education, or visits to aquariums or museums are also critical in changing the narrative around sharks and why they need to be protected and conserved. Feel free to contact me with any questions. Thank you.